Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Farooq Azmi Rathore, your teacher for some of the lectures of the rehabilitation module. Currently, I am working as a head of department and consultant at the Department of Rehabilitation Medicine, PNS Shifa Hospital, Karachi. I am also working as a faculty member of the Bahria University Medical and Dental College, and I am also a visiting faculty at the Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Dow University of Health Sciences, Karachi. I am a graduate of Army Medical College. I obtained my fellowship in rehabilitation medicine in year 2009 from the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Pakistan. I did my master's in pain medicine in year 2016. I am an active researcher and teacher, and so far I have published 132 manuscripts in different national and international biomedical journals. In addition, I have 4 book chapters, and I'm also a peer reviewer for around 18 journals and editorial board member of 5 national and international medical journals. I have been teaching this rehabilitation module to 4th year at the Sir Syed Medical College for Girls for the last 2 years now. This is my 3rd year. I would have loved to present this in person, but because of the current COVID pandemic, I'm unable to do so, and I have recorded my lecture and sharing with you in this form. But in order to interact with you and to answer the questions that you might have or to have your feedback, I would request these following things. Number one, after the lecture, if you have any questions, you can always email me with the questions, or if you want a copy of the presentation, I'll be happy to share that with you as well. In addition, if you want to interact with me and you want to ask a question, please go on this website www.padlet.com/FarooqRathore/rehab, and there you can pose your questions and I'm going to answer those questions online. Apart from that, you might want to explore my YouTube channel, which is available at the link indicated on the slide, and here you would find some of my other lectures on research and writing as well. So this is the first lecture and it is about introduction to rehabilitation medicine. And since I am a rehabilitation medicine physician, so I thought it would be appropriate to introduce you to this relatively new concept, because as such most of the medical students in Pakistan at the undergraduate level do not have any exposure to rehabilitation medicine, and there are a lot of confusion what rehabilitation medicine is all about. And since we have now a lot of physiotherapists who are allied healthcare professionals who are not physicians, but they have this degree which is known as DPT, Doctor of Physical Therapy, and they also call themselves as rehabilitation doctors. So there's a confusion that who is a rehabilitation medicine physician. So I'm going to clarify these concepts today. Rehabilitation medicine is the full name of rehabilitation medicine is physical medicine and rehabilitation, or in short PM&R. The American Academy of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation defines PM&R or rehabilitation medicine or physiatry as a subject which aims to enhance and restore functional ability and quality of life to those with physical impairments or disabilities affecting the brain, spinal cord, nerves, bones, joints, ligaments, muscles, and tendon. So in short, you can say that rehabilitation medicine or physiatry, it deals with all kind of physical disabilities and improving quality of life and enhancing and restoring functional ability of the patients. And it deals with all diseases affecting the brain, that is neurological disabilities, nerves, bone, joint and ligaments, that is musculoskeletal disabilities, muscles and tendons. Rehabilitation medicine physicians are also known as physiatrists. So what do physiatrists or rehabilitation medicine physicians do? Physiatrists, they are experts in designing comprehensive patient-centered treatment plans and are integral members of the care team. So rehabilitation medicine physicians, and we are going to discuss this in detail, they offer both diagnostic facilities, they are diagnosticians, they diagnose things, and they also perform therapeutic measures, and they also do the treatment plan. And in good centers, rehabilitation medicine team or physiatrists, they are integral part of the acute care team as well. In addition, they also utilize cutting-edge technology as well as time-tested treatments to maximize function of patients with disabilities and to improve the quality of life of their patients. And it can range from age from infants to octogenarians. So in simple words, rehabilitation medicine physicians deal with all kind of physical disabilities, minor and major, across all age groups, whether it is an infant born with a brachial plexus injury or a 100-year-old person who has just sustained a fractured neck of femur or a vertebral compression fracture. In between, you can have lot of physical disabilities, both major and minor. For example, chronic mechanical back pain in a young person is a physical disability, whereas having stroke with hemiplegia is also a physical disability. Having multiple sclerosis and balance dysfunction is a disability, or having a nerve dysfunction because of laceration is also a physical disability. And these disabilities vary from person to person, and a rehabilitation medicine physician is a physician who not only diagnoses but also gives a treatment plan for the management and adequate rehabilitation of these disabilities. Now, what condition does a rehabilitation medicine physician manage, or what is the scope of practice for a physiatrist or a rehabilitation medicine physician? You would be surprised to know that the condition that rehabilitation medicine physician treat, they overlap across many specialties. For example, now chronic back pain. So chronic back pain is managed by both orthopedic surgeons and spinal surgeons and neurosurgeon, but it is also managed by rehabilitation medicine physician. Cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is usually managed by the pediatricians, but unfortunately, apart from medicine, they cannot offer any hope or any treatment plan to the patient with cerebral palsy. And it is only the rehabilitation medicine physicians that adequately offers a comprehensive rehabilitation and social reintegration plan to patients with cerebral palsy or other childhood disabilities. Rheumatoid arthritis. So rheumatoid arthritis is basically dealt by rheumatologist, but the rehabilitation plan or the exercise plan is made by the rehabilitation medicine physician. Similarly, if you talk of a procedure like electrodiagnostics, EMG, NCS, electromyography and nerve conduction studies. So all around the world, specifically in the US, only 2 specialties are authorized or board certified to perform EMG, NCS. Number 1, neurologist. Number 2, rehabilitation medicine physicians or physiatrist. If you talk of pain medicine, so pain medicine is now a separate subspecialty all across the globe, and only 2 specialists or 2 specialties can participate in the training program of pain medicine. Number 1, it could either be an anesthetist, or number 2, it could be a rehabilitation medicine physician. So rehabilitation medicine physician, they treat a large number of diseases and disorders, and the American Academy of Physical Medicine Rehabilitation on their official website has listed more than 90 medical conditions and diseases that usually respond to the treatment protocols of rehabilitation medicine physicians. I'm not going to go in detail, but I just want to give you an overview that what kind of dynamic specialty is this, which not only offers diagnostic but also therapeutic possibilities to patients with physical disabilities. So just to give you an idea, look at the left side of this column. Medical rehabilitation includes cardiac rehabilitation, exercises in the elderly or geriatric rehabilitation, fall prevention in the elderly, functional outcome after cancer rehabilitation. So just managing a patient with cancer is not enough. The patient might survive, but he or she might have a very poor quality of life. He might have many mental health issues. He might have mobility issues. So who's going to help him or her out? It is the cancer rehabilitation team led by a cancer rehabilitation specialist. Then lower limb prosthetics, we are going to discuss this in detail in a separate lecture. Whenever people lose their limbs because of trauma or because of some vascular injury, no amount of surgical care is going to bring back the lost limb. It is only adequate prosthetic rehabilitation that allows a person with amputation to reintegrate back into the society. Then pressure ulcer management, pulmonary rehabilitation in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, venous insufficiency. So many diseases and conditions are being managed by rehabilitation medicine physicians. Coming to the pain and neuromuscular medicine rehabilitation, the diseases that we treat include, again, geriatric muscle disease like sarcopenia and chronic fatigue. We also deal with central post-stroke pain, which is a specific type of neuropathic pain which occurs in patient after thalamic strokes. We also deal with complex regional pain syndrome, CRPS, degenerative joint disease or osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, myofascial pain syndrome, phantom pain, peripheral polyneuropathy, and so many other things. Musculoskeletal medicine has a long list, starting from anterior cruciate injury, anterior cruciate ligament injuries and other meniscal injuries of the knee, adhesive capsulitis, supraspinatus tendinitis, subacromial bursitis, cervical radiculopathy, cervical stenosis, lumbar spondylosis. You just name it, all things they are being managed by rehabilitation medicine physicians adequately by using different techniques and by using different technologies. Now coming to the neurological disabilities can be of many different types and they occur in a variety of settings. For example, starting from after traumatic brain injury or after head injury, patients usually have agitation, aggression and apathy. Now these are the things that are unfortunately not even acknowledged by the neurosurgeons because they do not have a formal training in the assessment and management of these issues after traumatic brain injury. So these issues are dealt by rehabilitation medicine physician. Apart from that, rehabilitation medicine physician not only diagnose cases with motor neuron disease or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, but they also offer end-of-life care and they also offer a comprehensive rehabilitation plan and manage the issues associated with ALS. Apart from that, cerebrovascular disorders or stroke, different kind of stroke, cervical spondylotic myelopathy, heterotopic ossification, Parkinson disease, because Parkinson disease at one end needs certain kind of specific medication which are prescribed by the neurologist, but at the same time they also need a Parkinson disease specific rehabilitation plan. Then multiple sclerosis, spina bifida, neurogenic bladder, which occurs both in spinal cord injury and in multiple sclerosis and also in cases of stroke. Then spinal cord injury, spasticity, and so many neurological illnesses that are being managed by rehabilitation medicine physicians. Pediatric rehabilitation is a separate subset or separate subspecialty of rehabilitation medicine. And the important things that a rehabilitation medicine physician treats in case of pediatric rehabilitation, they include like cerebral palsy, congenital torticollis, different kind of muscular dystrophies, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a hypermobility syndrome, neonatal brachial plexus injury, which can be an Erb's palsy involving C5 or C6 nerve root, or it could be a clump case paralysis involving the C8 or T1 nerve root. And then there are certain patients who also have a pediatric stroke, that is stroke in the young, and rehabilitation medicine physician will manage those kind of stroke. Apart from that, scoliosis or what we call kamar ka tedapan is a very important thing which is very annoying for the patient and as well as for the caregiver and the parents, and rehabilitation medicine physician can offer non-pharmacological and non-surgical management of scoliosis in these patients. So you can have an idea that the scope of practice of rehabilitation medicine is very, very diverse. All kind of physical disabilities across all age groups, from minor to major, from youngsters to late age. Now, what is the evidence behind effectiveness and cost benefit of rehabilitation medicine? So there is a lot of evidence available out there in the literature. You can go and explore the literature yourself, but I'm only going to summarize this for you. And the literature that has been published in the last 40 years in international biomedical literature, it clearly shows that intensive, coordinated, multidisciplinary rehabilitation, which is provided in specialized environment and which is delivered by a trained and committed staff of a multidisciplinary rehabilitation team, this kind of rehabilitation reduces the overall disability. It enhances the motor recovery and functional recovery of the patient with a disability and functional impairment. It reduces the length of stay of the patient inside the hospital, which is very important obviously, and it ultimately improves the quality of life of the patient. Now we are going to discuss this in detail that many a time you cannot cure the disease. Bimari wahi rehti hai, it is part of the patient's life, but you can improve the quality of life of the patient and you can improve the community reintegration of the patient, which is required. So these are the all proven roles of rehabilitation medicine for management of people with different kind of disabilities. So the question arises कि what is the difference between rehabilitation medicine and the general medical model जो आप पढ़ते हो, like the general surgery and general medical model. तो इन दोनों में कोई फर्क है? Yes, there is a lot of difference between the traditional medical model, what we call the curative model. So the जो traditional medical model है वो curative model है कि मरीज आया, बीमार हुआ, दवाई जैसे वो क्योर कर दें, उसे ठीक कर दें. लेकिन रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन एक टोटली डिफरेंट फील्ड है और इसमें जो इसमें काम करने का अंदाज है और जो हमारे प्रिंसिपल्स हैं वो थोड़े डिफरेंट होते हैं ट्रेडिशनल मेडिकल मॉडल से. ऑल्दो वी आर पार्ट ऑफ द ट्रेडिशनल मेडिकल मॉडल, द वेस्टर्न एलोपैथिक मेडिसिन, बट हमारे कुछ प्रिंसिपल्स डिफरेंट होते हैं. इस पर हम अभी बात करते हैं. नंबर वन, रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन इज पेशेंट सेंटर्ड, इट इज नॉट डिजीज सेंटर्ड और सिस्टम सेंटर्ड. So we do not treat like some of our subspecialties, for example ophthalmology. So ophthalmology is very narrowly focused on only management of the diseases of the eye. ENT will focus only on the management of diseases of the ear, nose and throat. इसी तरह cardiology will focus only on the cardiac aspect, और gastroenterology would focus only on the gastrointestinal system. होलिस्टिक अप्रोच नहीं होती, बस एक छोटा सा सिस्टम है उसकी सारी फोकस हुए हुए है. और इन मेनी केसेस ऐसी अप्रोच से क्या होता है, यू टेंड टू फॉरगेट द होल पेशेंट. It is the patient that comes with the disease. It is not the disease that comes with the patient. So rehabilitation medicine जो होती है वो holistic होती है और वो पूरे के पूरे patient को क्या नाम है in consideration लेती है जो disability की वजह से problem में होता है. Number two, in rehabilitation medicine, we focus on the management of disability rather than the treatment and cure of the disease. I just told you that there are many diseases which cannot be cured by any medical mean possible. For example, diabetes mellitus. You can manage diabetes mellitus, but you cannot cure diabetes mellitus. You can manage rheumatoid arthritis or hypertension, but you cannot cure hypertension or rheumatoid arthritis. They are part and parcel of the patient. In that case, sometimes the patient lives but lives with a disability which can reduce the quality of life of the patient. So rehabilitation medicine focuses on the management of disability rather than focusing on the cure of the disease, because there are many diseases which cannot be cured. Another example might be of cerebral palsy. Another example might be of muscular dystrophy. So these diseases by current technology are not curable, but they are manageable, and if you offer rehabilitation to these patients, you can improve their quality of life, community reintegration and mobility. So this is how rehabilitation medicine is different from the traditional medical model, which focuses mostly on the cure of the disease. Apart from that, a physiatrist or rehabilitation medicine physician is considered a teacher or a facilitator rather than merely a knower or doer, which means that in case of a traditional medical model, doctor comes in, evaluates the patient and then gives him or her certain medicines. बस डॉक्टर साहब आए, मरीज का देखा, इलाज के लिए उसको दवाइयाँ दे दी. लेकिन फिजियाट्री और रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन इज नॉट ओनली अबाउट दवाइयाँ दे दी या नुस्खा लिख दिया. इट्स लाइक एक्टिंग लाइक अ टीचर और अ फैसिलिटेटर टू गिव द पेशेंट एन इंसाइट इनटू देयर प्रॉब्लम कि उनको ये डिसेबिलिटी क्या है, क्यों है, कैसे है, इसका क्या नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है उनकी पर्सनल लाइफ पे, उनकी सोशल लाइफ पे, और कैसे क्या नाम है रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन उनको हेल्प कर सकती है इन ऑर्डर टू रीइंटीग्रेट बैक इनटू द सोसाइटी. So the role of a physiatrist or rehabilitation medicine physician is that of a teacher or facilitator, not somebody who just orders or just writes a prescription. The patient is an active rather than passive participants in all decisions that are taken in rehabilitation medicine. And what we call that the patient is the center of the decision making process. He is also helped by his colleagues and also by the caregivers and family members, but active participation is by the patient him or herself. So no rehabilitation plan is going to succeed if you do not involve the patient in the decision making process. So आप बहुत ज़बरदस्त क्या नाम है rehabilitation plan बना सकते हो बुक से देखकर, but अगर patient उसको accept नहीं करता, उसको follow नहीं करता, उस पर अमल नहीं करता, that plan is going to fail. So it's absolutely important to involve the patient in every step of rehabilitation process, and this makes rehabilitation medicine a class apart from the traditional medical model of management. Last but not the least is that the traditional medical model uses a more fragmented approach of multiple specialists working independently on specific problems. जिस तरह मैंने बात की कि द कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट विल सी ओनली द कार्डियोलॉजी पार्ट, गैस्ट्रो वाला सिर्फ गैस्ट्रोएंट्रोलॉजी देखेगा, आई वाला आई को देखेगा और ईएनटी वाला सिर्फ ईएनटी का मसला देखेगा. बट रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन इज बेसिकली मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी इन नेचर. We focus on all disabilities of the patient that are bothering him or her, and we try to integrate all the treatment plans in one comprehensive plan that can actually help the patient, because the goal of the rehabilitation model is improvement of function and adjustment to disability rather than disease cure process. So this is how rehabilitation medicine is different from the traditional medical model. So we talked about the rehabilitation team, that rehabilitation medicine is not a solo flight. We need lot of rehabilitation professionals. The number of rehabilitation professionals can vary depending on the disability and depending on the hospital where they are available. But in general, the rehabilitation medicine team is led by, or the team leader is a physiatrist or rehabilitation medicine specialist. And the physiatrist evaluates medical and functional status, manages the medical care, he or she orders the therapy, and usually coordinates the total rehabilitation and physical medicine plan of that patient. Another important team member is occupational therapist, or what we call OT. The OT emphasizes fine motor skills, evaluates and trains the patient in activities of daily living, what we call ADLs, and these may include skills like dressing, hygiene, bathing, and eating. The OT also provides a range of motion, strengthening exercises, endurance exercises, and coordination exercises specifically for the upper limb and cervical area. For patient with disability, they also assess the driving skills, and they also recommend orthoses or the braces for the upper extremities. In addition to that, an occupational therapist is also expert in advising the adaptive equipment, that is like modified utensils or reachers, and home modification as needed. Physical therapists or physiotherapists are an essentially important part of the rehabilitation team, and the physical therapist emphasizes the gross motor skills. They evaluate and train the patient in mobility, such as wheelchair mobility and gait mobility. They teach balance and transfer skills involving moving from one fixed position to another, such as for example, from bed to chair. They also provide range of motion exercises, strengthening exercises, endurance and coordination exercises for limbs and trunks. They provide physical modalities including superficial and deep heat modalities like diathermies and ultrasound therapy, cold heat modalities like cryotherapy, hydrotherapy, electrical stimulations like electric muscle stimulations, and cervical L-number traction. And they also recommend specific orthoses and adaptive equipment such as wheelchairs and gait aids in order to enhance the mobility of the patient with a disability. The prosthetist and the orthotist, they design and they fabricate and they fit the prostheses, which are also known as the artificial limbs, and orthoses, that is braces and the splints. The clinical psychologist assesses the emotional, intellectual, and perceptual functioning of the patient with disability. They counsel and provide psychotherapy to the patient and family, and they also provide the multidisciplinary team with the recommendation for overall care for the patient. Rehabilitation nurse manages the nursing care team. He or she serves as an educational resource to other team members, for example, neurorehabilitation team member, nursing personnel. The rehabilitation nurse instruct the patient and family in functional skills and also reinforces the skills learned in the therapy. The speech therapist or the speech and language pathologist evaluates and treats problem with communication and swallowing and assist with cognitive retraining. Apart from that, depending on the patient's condition and availability of resources, other team members can also be part of the multidisciplinary rehabilitation team, and these might include a dietitian who evaluates the nutritional status of the patient and recommends an appropriate diet based on the personal and team assessment, and also counsels the patient and team on dietary modification. It could be a social worker who evaluates the patient living condition, situation, and discusses the financial and living arrangement option after the patient is being discharged from the hospital. Or it could be a vocational counselor who evaluates the vocational interest, training, and skills of the patient, provides counseling concerning the returning to work, and also serves as a liaison between the patient and the prospective employer of the patient. So these are the different rehabilitation team members which are part of a multidisciplinary rehabilitation team in a good center. So just to give you one example that I'm going to give you one example to demonstrate that why rehabilitation medicine is different from the traditional medical model. And for that I have taken the example of stroke, falaj, cerebral vascular accident, because stroke is the leading cause of adulthood neurological disabilities all around the globe. So that in traditional medical model, for example, assume a patient with right middle cerebral artery infarct, उसको ischemic stroke हुआ है, right? So in traditional medical model doesn't matter if this stroke occurs in a housewife or a professional athlete or a banker or a school teacher or a retired soldier. The medical model says that all of them are going to get these medicine A, B, C. Thrombolytic therapy हो सकती है, या क्या नाम है एंटी हाइपरटेंसिव्स हो सकते हैं, या बेसिकली एंटी हाइपरलिपिडेमिक्स हो सकते हैं, और अगर पेशेंट क्या नाम है विद इन 3 आवर्स रिपोर्ट करेगा तो उसको थ्रोम्बोलिटिक थेरेपी भी दी जा सकती है. सो फॉर ट्रेडिशनल मेडिकल मॉडल the management of stroke is almost the same across all age groups और all different. It doesn't matter कि पेशेंट की सोशल बैकग्राउंड क्या है, उनको दवाइयाँ तो वही मिलनी है, ट्रीटमेंट तो वही होनी है, कोई फर्क नहीं है. बट इन केस ऑफ रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन the impact of disability is going to be drastically different across all these 5 kind of different people. And in order to assess the disability after stroke or any other illness, we use the ICF model. So ICF is International Classification of Functioning Health and Disability, and it actually determines the overall disability of the patient, which is based on 2 very important factors. Number 1, personal factors, and number 2 are environmental factors. So for example, and these determine the overall disability of the patient and how good he or she is going to become after the adequate treatment and rehabilitation. For example, a patient is having comorbidities like diabetes, hypertension, ischemic heart disease. Obviously, his or her outcome and disability is going to be much more as compared to a person who has no comorbidity at all. Age. So, for example, a stroke occurring in a 24 years old university student is going to be totally different from a stroke occurring in a 66 years old retired school teacher. Age is a major factor. It is a personal factor. If a patient already had like pre-existing, let's say, depression or anxiety, the functional outcome or disability is going to be much more as compared to a patient who does not have any psychiatric illness or mental health issues. Similarly, environmental factors. So for in traditional medical model, it doesn't matter कि आप कहाँ बैठे हो, आप लाड़काना बैठे हो, कि आप कश्मीर बैठे हो, पाकिस्तान बैठे हो, चाइना, जापान बैठे हो, अगर आपको स्ट्रोक या फालिज हो गया तो उसमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है, ट्रीटमेंट तो सबकी एक है. लेकिन रिहेबिलिटेशन कहती है कि डिसेबिलिटी हर जगह वेरी करती है. सो 2 different patient having exactly the same kind of stroke but with different environmental factor are going to have a different kind of disability. For example, you cannot compare a patient with stroke living in DHA2, having an access to 3 servants and a car, to a patient who has stroke and who lives in, let's say, in a very poor locality in Layari. The person in Layari is not going to have adequate rehabilitation outcome and his disability is going to be much more. Why? Probably because of lack of social support, probably because of lack of transport, which does not allow him to come to rehabilitation center regularly. And as compared to that, एक patient जो अच्छी जगह बैठा हुआ है, जिसके social support system अच्छा है, जिसको financial कोई issue नहीं है, उसकी disability बहुत कम होगी. So rehabilitation इन तमाम चीज़ों को मद्देनजर रखते हुए disability का तायुन करती है, और ये चीज़ हमें differentiate करती है from the traditional medical model. एक और एग्जांपल दूं मैं आपको स्ट्रोक की. सो फॉर अ मेडिकल स्पेशलिस्ट या न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट, इट डजंट मैटर कि पेशेंट को क्या नाम है राइट साइड स्ट्रोक हुआ है या लेफ्ट साइड स्ट्रोक हुआ है, क्योंकि ट्रीटमेंट दोनों की एक है. लेकिन फॉर अ रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन फिजिशियन इट्स एब्सोल्युटली इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो सर्टेन थिंग्स. नंबर 1, हैंड डोमिनेंस. इमेजिन करें एक बंदा राइट हैंड से काम करता था, उसको राइट हैंड का स्ट्रोक हो गया. क्या आप नहीं समझते कि उसकी डिसेबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा होगी? मेडिकली कोई फर्क नहीं है राइट और लेफ्ट स्ट्रोक में, लेकिन फ्रॉम रिहेबिलिटेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू उसकी डिसेबिलिटी में जमीन आसमान का फर्क है, बिकॉज उसका डोमिनेंट हैंड अफेक्ट हुआ है. एक पेशेंट है, वो क्या नाम है अपने हाथ से पेंटिंग करता है, फाइन मूवमेंट्स करता है, उसको स्ट्रोक होता है, उसकी डिसेबिलिटी बहुत डिफरेंट है एक ऐसे पेशेंट से जो लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल एथलीट है जो रनिंग करता है. प्रॉब्ली रनिंग वाले के अगर क्या नाम है उसका लोअर लिम्ब फंक्शन वापस आ जाता है, ही और शी विल स्टार्ट रनिंग अगेन एंड विल रिगेन सम ऑफ द लॉस्ट फंक्शन. उसके मुकाबले में एक ऐसा बंदा जो अपने हाथ से सारा काम किया करता था एंड बिकॉज ऑफ स्ट्रोक उसका हाथ अब डिसेबल्ड हो गया है, रिड्यूस हैंड डिक्सटेरिटी है, उसकी डिसेबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा होगी. सो कहने का मकसद ये है बेसिकली कि जो रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन है इसका मॉडल बहुत डिफरेंट है एक ट्रेडिशनल मेडिकल मॉडल से, जो जोर देता है क्योर के ऊपर. मरीज आया, दवाई दें, क्योर कर दें, ठीक कर दें. देयर आर डिजीजेस जो ठीक नहीं हो सकती, द पेशेंट हैज टू लिव विद दोज डिजीजेस, और उससे पेशेंट के अंदर डिसेबिलिटी होती है, पुअर क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ होती है. एंड इट इज ओनली रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन एंड द मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी टीम अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ अ फिजियाट्रिस्ट और अ रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन फिजिशियन दैट comprehensively evaluates the patient based on the ICF model, considering the personal factor and the environmental factor. फिर वो उसको एक अच्छा सा डिसेबिलिटी एंड रिहेबिलिटेशन प्लान बना के देते हैं, मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी, पेशेंट उसको फॉलो करता है और फिर पेशेंट बहुत सारे बेहतर हो जाते हैं. Now moving forward, I told you कि जो फिजियाट्रिस्ट या रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन फिजिशियन है, हम बहुत सारी क्या मैं जॉब्स, बहुत सारे हैट्स पहनते हैं, बहुत सारे जॉब्स करते हैं. वी परफॉर्म डायग्नोस्टिक प्रोसीजर एंड वी ऑल्सो परफॉर्म थेरेप्यूटिक प्रोसीजर. सो जस्ट टू गिव यू एन आइडिया कि कितनी डाइवर्स फील्ड है रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन. डायग्नोस्टिक प्रोसीजर जो दो सबसे बड़े बड़े हम करते हैं, नंबर 1 इज EMG NCS, इलेक्ट्रोमायोग्राफिक एंड नर्व कंडक्शन स्टडीज, और दूसरा हम करते हैं मस्कुलोस्केलेटल अल्ट्रासाउंड. और अगेन वही कि जो EMG NCS है, दुनिया भर में आप चले जाएं स्पेशली US में, सो सिर्फ ओनली 2 स्पेशलिटीज आर ऑथराइज्ड टू परफॉर्म इलेक्ट्रो डायग्नोस्टिक और EMG NCS. नंबर 1 न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट, नंबर 2 रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन फिजिशियन. सिमिलरली मस्कुलोस्केलेटल अल्ट्रासाउंड इस वक्त दुनिया में सिर्फ 3 स्पेशलिटीज करती हैं. नंबर 1 रेडियोलॉजिस्ट इफ दे हैव इंटरेस्ट इन मस्कुलोस्केलेटल रेडियोलॉजी, नंबर 2 रूमेटोलॉजिस्ट एंड नंबर 3 physiatrist or rehabilitation medicine physician. So we have a diagnostic role as well. Apart from that, we do a lot of interventional procedures, that is injections. So we do injections of all peripheral joints, both blind injections and injection under fluoroscopic control. In addition, we also perform injection of the spine, including epidural injections, caudal epidurals, transforaminal injections, and all sort of other things. Apart from that, in good centers and specifically in Europe and USA and Canada, rehabilitation medicine physicians are working just like spinal surgeons, and they are performing interventional spine procedures like discography, disc decompression, and vertebroplasty and kyphoplasty, which is insertion of bone cement in a collapsed vertebra after osteoporotic compression fracture. Rehabilitation medicine physicians also implant nerve stimulators. They do nerve blocks and ablation procedure like radio frequency ablation, both for the peripheral and spinal nerves. We also do comprehensive assessment and management of spasticity, and we do this in form of prescription of exercises. Our team members, they provide physiotherapy, positioning. Our orthotists, they provide with splints. But if they don't help, if the medicine don't help, then you have to go for interventional spasticity management, and for that a rehabilitation medicine physician will do either phenol blocks or botulinum toxin injection blocks. And at least in Pakistan, no one else is doing phenol blocks except for rehabilitation medicine physicians. And botulinum toxins are really good, but they're very, very expensive. It costs around 20 to 21,000 Pakistan rupees for a single vial of 100 unit of botulinum toxin. In contrast, the phenol block is available only for rupees 500, but only rehabilitation medicine physicians in Pakistan are trained to use phenol blocks for management of spasticity in a variety of conditions like stroke, spinal cord injury, cerebral palsy, and other disabilities. Rehabilitation medicine physicians, they also perform certain complementary and alternative medicine procedures like acupuncture, which is both acupuncture, dry needling, and electroacupuncture, and we also perform cupping, what we call also Urdu mein jise kehte hain hijama. And apart from that, because rehabilitation medicine physicians are formally trained in the assessment of disability, so we also perform comprehensive assessment of disability based on certain scales. Now quickly I'm going to go through the history of rehabilitation medicine in Pakistan. So again, at this stage you have to differentiate between physiotherapy and rehabilitation medicine. Rehabilitation medicine is a physician's job and physiotherapy is an allied healthcare professional which are part of a comprehensive rehabilitation team. So the first department of rehabilitation medicine was established at the Jinnah Postgraduate Medical College, or what we right now know as a JSMU. It was in 1960s by Dr. S.R.A. Kirmani, who's still alive. He's mashallah 86 years of age. He was helped by Professor Qazi, and these two people were trained abroad in rehabilitation medicine. They came back and they established the first department of rehabilitation medicine, the first college of physiotherapy, the first college of occupational therapy in Pakistan at JPMC Karachi. Then a rehabilitation medicine department was established by Professor Khalid Jameel, who is also fondly known as Big Brother by the disabled community in Pakistan. He established this department in 1980s. The armed forces or the Pakistan military, they showed interest and support for physical medicine rehabilitation in early 1980s. Actually, General Zia Marhoom, he had a daughter Zanzia who had cerebral palsy, and since he was a father and he understood very well the problem with disability and the lack of rehabilitation services in Pakistan, so as a president of Pakistan, he issued directives for establishment of 2 institutes of rehabilitation medicine, one in the public sector which is now known as NIRM, National Institute of Rehabilitation Medicine, and unfortunately there is not even a single rehabilitation medicine physician working in NIRM. The other institute is AFIRM, Armed Forces Institute of Rehabilitation Medicine, which is the largest tertiary care indoor rehabilitation institute of Pakistan at present. Then the Artificial Limb Center was established at Fauji Foundation Hospital. It is still working and now it has been upgraded to ALC. And the Paraplegic Rehabilitation Center, or PRC, was established in Peshawar by a Swedish NGO back in 1980s to cater for the spinal cord injury patients coming from Afghanistan due to the Afghan war. This rehabilitation center is still working and now it has been indigenized, and alhamdulillah now all the administration consists of Pakistani staff. So this is a little bit of history of rehabilitation medicine in Pakistan. The current status of rehabilitation medicine in Pakistan, that is unfortunately the practice of physical medicine rehabilitation. I'm not talking about physiotherapy, because in many places physiotherapy centers are being sold, being marketed as rehabilitation centers. No, they are only physiotherapy center. If you don't have a rehabilitation medicine or a physiatrist available at your center, you cannot label it as a rehabilitation centers. So unfortunately, the practice of PMR, physical medicine rehabilitation, is limited to only few locations in Pakistan. आप इस बात से अंदाज़ा लगाएं कि कराची और पाकिस्तान का सबसे बड़ा शहर है, 2 करोड़ लोग यहाँ रहते हैं. यहाँ पूरे कराची में सिर्फ 3 रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन सेंटर्स हैं. एक है इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फिजिकल मेडिसिन रिहेबिलिटेशन डाओ, नंबर 2 इज डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रिहेबिलिटेशन PNS शिफा हॉस्पिटल कराची, नंबर 3 इज डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रिहेबिलिटेशन कंबाइंड मिलिट्री हॉस्पिटल मलीर कैंट. इसके अलावा जितने भी हैं सारे फिजियोथेरेपी सेंटर्स हैं, वहाँ कोई रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन फिजिशियन काम नहीं कर रहा. सो इट्स अ ह्यूज चैलेंज. And many of these centers do not follow a multidisciplinary approach. अगर rehabilitation medicine physician available भी है तो कई दफ़ा बाकी important team members like rehabilitation nurse, occupational therapist और clinical psychologist available नहीं होते. इस वक्त अराउंड 73 FCPS qualified rehabilitation medicine physicians available हैं for a population of 220 million. So मतलब हर स्पेशलिस्ट के हिस्से में अगर आप रेशो निकालें तो लाखों पेशेंट विद डिसेबिलिटी आते हैं, जो मुमकिन नहीं है उसको देखना. And almost all of these specialists are working in the major cities, and majority of these specialists, more than 40, are working in the military setup, आर्मी मेडिकल कोर में काम कर रहे हैं. सो जनरल पब्लिक के लिए बहुत कम रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन फिजिशियन बचते हैं और फिर उस गैप को फिल कर देते हैं हमारे कोलीग्स इन फिजियोथेरेपी. और अनफॉर्चुनेटली चूंकि PMDC की कोई पॉलिसी नहीं है, तो इसलिए अंडर ग्रेजुएट पे कोई एक्सपोजर अक्सर लोगों को नहीं होता रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन का, और इसलिए वो कैरियर चॉइस नहीं बन पाती. आई एम ग्लैड कि आपके कॉलेज और JSMU ने अब रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन मॉड्यूल स्टार्ट किया और एटलीस्ट रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन फिजिशियन आते हैं और अपना पर्सपेक्टिव बयान करते हैं. और एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज जो हम फेस कर रहे हैं पिछले 10-12 साल में, दैट इज द कंपीटिंग इंटरेस्ट विद फिजिकल थेरेपिस्ट हु हैव स्टार्टेड दिस प्रोग्राम ऑफ DPT, डॉक्टर ऑफ फिजिकल थेरेपी, एंड दे हैव स्टार्टेड कॉलिंग देमसेल्फ एज डॉक्टर, जबकि पाकिस्तान मेडिकल डेंटल काउंसिल हैज इशूड क्लियर गाइडलाइंस दैट अपार्ट फ्रॉम फिजिशियंस दैट इज पीपल हु डू इधर MBBS और BDS, उसके अलावा किसी को लीगली अलाउड नहीं है वर्ड डॉक्टर यूज़ करना. लेकिन फार्मासिस्ट भी यूज़ करते हैं और क्या नाम है ये फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट भी यूज़ करते हैं, और इवन जो है आपके ये अब ऑक्यूपेशनल थेरेपिस्ट भी यूज़ करते हैं. सो ये बहुत बड़ी कन्फ्यूजन होती है लोगों को जी कि रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन फिजिशियन कौन है. तो फिजिशियन वो होते हैं जो MBBS करके आते हैं, जो पाकिस्तान मेडिकल और डेंटल काउंसिल से रजिस्टर्ड होते हैं. The training of physical medicine rehabilitation in Pakistan, so again the same thing I told you, you have to be an MBBS physician, a doctor, in order to become a rehabilitation medicine physician, both in Pakistan and all around the globe. उसके बाद आपको 1 year हाउस जॉब करनी है. Then you have to do FCPS part 1 either in surgery or medicine. जब आप FCPS कर लेते हो उसके बाद फिर आपकी 4 year structured ट्रेनिंग स्टार्ट होती है in FCPS part 2 in physical medicine rehabilitation. It's a 4 year training program. इस वक्त पाकिस्तान में तकरीबन 8-10 सेंटर्स अवेलेबल हैं, उनमें से 5 सेंटर में एक्टिवली ट्रेनिंग हो रही है, और 22 रेजिडेंट्स इन फिजिकल मेडिसिन रिहेबिलिटेशन फ्रॉम 1st year to 4th year दे आर अंडरगोइंग ट्रेनिंग. Out of these 4 years, 3 years are spent in the core rehabilitation competencies. उसमें the resident they do general rehabilitation, neurological rehabilitation of different diseases, musculoskeletal rehabilitation, pediatric rehabilitation, electrodiagnostic and pain medicine. उसके बाद 1 year मैंडेटरी क्लिनिकल रोटेशंस होती हैं इन सर्जरी, मेडिसिन एंड रेडियोलॉजी. फॉर एग्जांपल सर्जरी में वी गो टू ऑर्थोपेडिक सर्जरी, वी गो टू स्पाइनल सर्जरी, न्यूरो सर्जरी, cardiac surgery and thoracic surgery. In medicine we have to go to internal medicine or general medicine, in cardiology, in pulmonology, in pediatrics, and we also spend some time in radiology and in anesthesia for pain medicine. Then you have to write a research dissertation, and then you have to undergo the FCPS part 2 exit exam, और आपको डिग्री मिल जाती है FCPS in rehabilitation medicine. पाकिस्तान में तो नहीं, लेकिन बाहर के मुल्कों में और स्पेशली अमेरिका में रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन बहुत एडवांस हो चुकी है, बहुत सारी सब स्पेशलिटीज़ आ चुकी हैं. और जिस तरह क्या नाम है, पहले हमारे पाकिस्तान में लोग पहले जनरल सर्जरी करते हैं, फिर वो न्यूरो सर्जन या कार्डिक सर्जन या ऑर्थोपेडिक सर्जन बनते हैं. इस तरह रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन बहुत एडवांस हो चुकी है बाहर के मुल्कों में, स्पेशली US, UK, कनाडा और यूरोप और ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, और बहुत सारी सब स्पेशलिटीज़ अवेलेबल हैं. दिखाने का मकसद सिर्फ आपको यह है कि ये बहुत डाइवर्स और बहुत रैपिडली ग्रोइंग स्पेशलिटी है, इसका स्कोप बहुत ज़्यादा है. जस्ट बिकॉज कि पाकिस्तान में इतना एक्सपोजर नहीं है डज नॉट मीन कि ये स्पेशलिटी बहुत ज़बरदस्त नहीं है, इसका स्कोप बहुत ही ज़्यादा है. देखिए ज़रा, न्यूरोमस्कुलर मेडिसिन सेपरेट है, पेन मेडिसिन सेपरेट है, पीडियाट्रिक मेडिसिन रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन इज अ सेपरेट सब स्पेशलिटी, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजरी, स्पोर्ट्स मेडिसिन, ब्रेन इंजरी, हॉस्पिस एंड पैलिएटिव केयर. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट फेलोशिप ट्रेनिंग्स होती हैं मस्कुलोस्केलेटल में, स्पाइन में, स्ट्रोक, न्यूरो रिहेबिलिटेशन, कैंसर रिहेबिलिटेशन. कैंसर इज़ वन ऑफ द लीडिंग कॉज ऑफ डेथ ऑल अराउंड द ग्लोब. और अब ये बहुत क्या नाम है इस पर काम हो रहा है कि जी सिर्फ कैंसर की दवाइयाँ इतनी आप स्ट्रॉन्ग देते हो उससे कई मरीज खुद बिल्कुल गिर जाता है. पेशेंट की एम्पुटेशन करनी पड़ती है, टांग काटनी पड़ती है, जान तो बच जाती है लेकिन पुअर क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ होती है. हाउ कैन यू रीइंटेग्रेट अ पेशेंट विद कैंसर बैक इनटू द सोसाइटी एज अ यूजफुल अर्निंग मेंबर? यू हैव टू ऑफर देम रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन. तो कैंसर रिहेबिलिटेशन इज नाउ अ सेपरेट स्पेशलिटी, फेलोशिप ट्रेनिंग होती है इसके अंदर. ठीक है. और ये बेसिकली बीएमजे ब्रिटिश मेडिकल जर्नल में एक ट्रेनी ने लिखा था कि व्हाई टू चूज अ कैरियर इन रिहेबिलिटेशन मेडिसिन. मुझे अच्छा लगा, मैंने कहा आपसे शेयर कर दूं बिफोर आई एंड दिस लेक्चर. So she says that rehabilitation medicine is a bright, exciting specialty, specially suited to doctors who want to work with a team to develop creative and innovative solution to their patient's problem. So rehabilitation medicine innovative है, exciting है और multidisciplinary है. इसमें आपकी creativity खुल के सामने आती है because sometimes you have to devise a treatment plan for patient having different disabilities with different backgrounds. So वो जो किताबी नुस्खा है वो हर patient को सूट नहीं करता and you have to be creative. And doctors working in rehabilitation medicine, they need a wide range of competencies to provide holistic and lifelong care to their patient. मैंने आपको बताया था we deal with physical disabilities across all age groups and we deal with all kind of disabilities, physical, major and minor. So that's why we have to have different competencies. हमें diagnostics भी आनी चाहिए, हमें therapeutics भी आनी चाहिए. So this is I end my talk on this 3-minute video. It's a fantastic video और ये आपको बहुत अच्छा एक idea देगी what rehabilitation is all about. 3 minutes वीडियो, इसको देखिए और फिर हम अपना लेक्चर खत्म करते हैं.
Physical medicine and rehab, or PM&R, is a unique medical specialty.
PM&R physicians are known as physiatrists, and we focus on improving function and adding quality of life to years.
We specialize in the non-operative treatment of conditions of the central nervous system, muscles, joints, bones, and nerves.
We work hand in hand with physical and occupational therapists, utilizing therapeutic exercises and a variety of medications to optimize patient performance.
We are experts at treating a wide variety of conditions, such as
traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, stroke, Parkinson's disease, and neurodegenerative disorders.
Low back and neck pain.
Knee pain, shoulder pain, and other forms of joint pain.
Overuse injuries.
Nerve injuries, plexus injuries, and much more.
Podiatrists are medical doctors who have completed 4 years of medical school.
And then gone on to complete residency training in the field of PM&R. This is often followed up by fellowships in several subspecialties, including
brain injury medicine,
Cancer rehabilitation,
Spinal cord injury medicine,
Pediatric rehabilitation,
interventional pain medicine,
Sports medicine,
and more.
Electromyography and nerve conduction study to diagnose neurological conditions.
Botulinum toxin injections for the treatment of spasticity. Musculoskeletal ultrasound for diagnosis and guiding a variety of interventions.
Interventional spine procedures such as epidural steroid injections, medial branch blocks, radiofrequency ablations, and much more.
Make an appointment with your local physiatrist if you or a loved one suffer from any of the conditions we mentioned.
It is our great privilege to care for you and to help improve the quality of your life.
So the summary is that rehabilitation medicine is a physician specialty which is holistic and multidisciplinary in nature. Rehabilitation medicine physicians are also known as physiatrists, and they mainly deal with a variety of neurological, musculoskeletal, pediatric and cognitive disabilities across all age groups ranging from pediatrics to elderly patients. And rehabilitation medicine can make a difference in the lives of people with disability. Thank you very much for your patient listening. If you need a copy of the presentation, please email me. And if you want to ask a question or leave a comment, please go on this website www.padlet.com/FaruqRathod/rehab. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.